welcome back to...
You're already talking past the microphone.
Oh, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Mindless Prattle. You might notice we look exactly the same, and that's because we're
We
recording...
figured out how to be vampires, and we don't age, so what's the point in changing clothes anymore?
If I were a vampire and didn't age, I would, do so many unethical things.
To clothing?
Huh?
To your clothing?
No, like stealing... Insider trading.
I don't believe you even know how to do one of those things.
I don't.
And I don't believe that your fucking self-conscious would let you do the other one, so...
I don't think so, but I would love to.
Yeah, I'd love to steal. Is that what you're...
Yeah, I can't do bad things, but sometimes I daydream about it, you know? I'm like, oh, I wish I could, break a bunch of shit. Or, if I were in The Purge, in the Purge movies, everybody always goes for murder. I would not want to murder anybody. I'd be like, let's go to GameStop and rob all of our favorite games, Let's get some, in-game currency cards for free. Woo.
Oh my god, they have all of the Sims DLCs.
I actually will not be spending my money on The Sims any longer.
Yeah, just like you won't be getting Chick-fil-A.
No, this is different. So, hi guys, welcome back to Mindless Prattle, where we talk to you about anything, everything, and whatever I want. That thing is Jordan. I'm Ripley. He keeps pointing at me with his tiny hands from last week. But yeah, so there's been several things in gaming this week that are kind of So first, EA and The Sims got sold to, I think it was a Saudi Arabian company. But everybody in the Sims community is really upset about it. They're very concerned for what it means for the Sims' future, because the Sims has always been a game about they've always included LGBT people and had provocative stories and
and a lot of them
and stuff.
Yeah, say that base gameplay of it, you didn't have to be married to have sex and all that. And even some of the mods too, the ones that you just have them instead of the pixels, you can see them naked. Are they taking out all of that because they don't believe in it?
Yeah,
Or
and then there's a lot of free content and stuff that EA has always encouraged, custom content. They're make your own clothing and all this sort of stuff. There's a huge community built around it, and everybody's is that going to stay the same or?
Yeah, I guess it depends on the views of the company that bought them.
And they've gone private, so they're no longer a publicly traded company. They're a private company.
EA or?
The company that bought them, made EA. Let me look up an article before I say the wrong details.
Okay. The other news while she's looking that up is if you had Games Pass, a lot of people don't have it anymore because Microsoft doubled their monthly price from $15 for all of the games and access and whatnot on PC and Xbox. Now it's $30 a month.
Yes.
Which is a crazy increase for oh, hey, by the way, next week it increases.
Well, also, it was $20 a month. So that's an extra, $120 a year you're spending? Or, how does that math work out?
You were paying $20?
For Xbox Games Pass Ultimate.
I was paying $15. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's been $19.99, I thought.
No, it's $15.
Oh.
Well, it was $15. Anyway, no, they increased it by 50%. They put it up to $30. But so many people canceled their memberships that the Xbox website had been crashing continuously for 3 days straight.
I canceled mine yesterday on my phone, and I didn't really have an issue. It was a little slower than I expected. And I saw a lot of people on Reddit and stuff saying that they were just going to a lower tier plan, basic. And I didn't even do that. I just canceled outright. I was
Yeah, because a lot of people, I feel would have the Xbox or the PC.
Mm-hmm. And
I have Ultimate just because I play a lot of games on both.
Exactly.
And go back and forth. But if you're not using it per month, $30 a month is...
Well, and it's also, I was just kind of weighing the cost out because, I played a few games like Disney Dreamlight Valley. I play exclusively on my PC because I didn't like the controls on the Xbox. And so to me, having a few games that I really loved that I could access anytime was worth that price, including, playing online and whatever I got from the PC games. I tried that Volcano Princess game recently and I really liked it. But for at $30 a month, I could easily just buy a game for that.
Yeah,
a lot of
especially
indie
if
games.
you're mainly playing games you already have and then only trying like one game a month. You're like,
Yeah, or I could spend that on like for example, I got Disney Dreamlight Valley on my Switch because of this. I had that. Actually had $35 in gift cards. I thought I only had 30, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to pay $3, and then it was like, oh, you're good, and you still have $5, and I was like, whoa. That was very thoughtful of Michael, actually, because I don't know if they even thought about it, but it covered the tax, so it was great.
I don't know.
But now I'm like, okay, that's an extra $30 a month. I can either like save, invest. I can try an indie game if I want. But I was thinking about it, and I have so many games on Steam that I either haven't played or I haven't like 100%ed that I'm like, whatever, I'll just play those. Or on Xbox even, I have a lot of single player games that I own that I could finish. There are a few games that I might have to rebuy, but you might actually have them like as a physical copy, so I don't know if it matters.
Well, and that's the main thing I use Games Pass for is like trying new games, new genres of games that I wouldn't buy, right? But if you have a game on there and you're thinking about canceling, you could also look and buy the game at a discount because you have Games Pass, and then cancel Games Pass.
That's what I did with Slime Rancher 1 and 2, actually. Slime Rancher 1 got removed from Games Pass, and I realized like, oh, like I really love these games, and I would just not have access to them suddenly if I didn't have Games Pass for whatever reason, or if it got removed. Yeah. So I used my discount to buy both of them for like $20.
Yeah, the Slime Rancher 1, I don't know why they didn't optimize that sooner. Like it plays terribly on the Xbox compared to the PC.
They just released like the final version, I think. Like
probably.
And then the second one just got out of early access as well. But it's just like, there's so many amazing indie games out there, for example, that you can buy for $15-$20 that I don't know.
Well, like even with was it Silk Song that came out a little bit ago?
Yeah.
Like it's on Games Pass, but it's $20. So like now it's less than the cost of the subscription. So even if you were like, oh, I want to pay $15 for Games Pass to try it, well, now you could just pay the $20 and it'd be cheaper than Games Pass.
There's a lot of little things that I'm like, oh, I can't justify buying this because I have Games Pass, and like that's a lot of money, and I need to make sure I'm getting my money's worth out of it. But it's like, okay, like I want to spend $5 on like my game.
Yeah, I got on Xbox this morning actually to play a little bit of Avatar, and it was going really slow. And I looked, there was a download in the background, and it was Xbox. It was downloading the beta for Black Ops 7 automatically, and I'm like, why would I want that? And it was 80 gigs. And I'm like, why would you automatically download an 80 gig fucking
I might need to check mine because I really hope it's not going to do that as well.
So I'm thinking of just uninstalling like a lot of Call of Duty, because right now I think it's all close to like 300 gigabytes for all the content. And I'm like, why? All the content that I have installed, not all the content total.
Well, I appreciate that they give you the option to pick and choose what you install, but I feel like you shouldn't even have to do that. Like it shouldn't be upfront. You just get everything.
Well, it should be able to, oh, hey, this is available. Would you like to download it? I don't like that I just turned it on and it was automatically downloading 80 gigs of a game that I probably won't play very much. So
yeah, I think for me it just bothers me because there's only like 2 or 3 Call of Duties that I really like, and then I have to have all the other ones like extra data in the background, even though it's not fully downloaded. It's
because they combined the launcher all into one, and then like it all runs off the same launcher, which by itself is like 95 gigabytes. And then you have to specifically download like the content you want. Like if you want to play this specific campaign or that specific multiplayer, like you have to download that specific thing. Yeah. And I'm like,
but I think Xbox is really shooting themselves in the foot with this because they literally just announced like record-breaking profits, like most money that this company or any companies have ever made from the gaming or whatever, and then immediately raise their prices. Like, of course, people are going to cancel. Like, shit's already expensive enough. The economy sucks. Like, nobody's going to want to pay. Like, some people are going to want to pay for that, but you could make a lot more money by catering to the middle class of people.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I'm going to keep it, honestly. Like, I haven't looked at it enough to cancel it or anything yet, but like this past probably month, I've just been playing mainly Dune.
Yeah, same.
And Avatar, which both are already owned, so I'm like...
Yeah, and like the next game I want to play is Silent Hill, and that's a single player game. Like I don't play enough online to justify like that being my main reason for keeping it, you know.
No. And a lot of the games, like the bigger games that I have, I just downloaded, just have them.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
but I've been playing a lot of Dune, and I need to 100% Subnautica. That's my first one because it doesn't have as many achievements as the other games. But some like Stardew Valley, for example, after we went to that orchestra, I was like, I should really try to 100% that. It's gotten so many more achievements since I got it because he's added so much.
I've barely ever made it into like year 2 of that game. Like,
I think
I
should
should sit down and dedicate time to it. But
exactly. I just gotta like force myself. But I'm also, I'm writing like 3 books.
Also true.
But I'll balance it. But so I did pull up an article about EA, and it's from AP News. It talks about Electronic Arts is being bought out in the largest ever private equity buyout, valued at $55 billion. Cool. So this will affect games like Madden, NFL, Battlefield, and The Sims. So it's going private, but the investors, they also manage firms like ones owned by Jared Kushner or Silver Lake Partners. So it'll be it says a commitment to the massive deal is in line with recent activity in the gaming sector by the Saudi fund. They've been a very active player in the video gaming market since 2022, taking minority stakes in most video gaming publishers and also outright purchases of companies. And it lists a few of the companies that I've never heard of, but EA is one of the largest ones that they've received. They also invest in games in companies like Nintendo. But people are very unhappy. Gaming is just like in a weird space right now. I feel like the prices are fluctuating. The market's not settled. Like
between Microsoft and EA, yeah, like they made some weird decisions this week. But like Sony still has all their base things. Like I feel like Sony hasn't changed much. It's just crazy to me. I'm like, wow, you guys are like the base standard now of like, hey, we're just gonna make games and then you can buy them.
I really always liked PlayStation. I just mostly switched over to Xbox because you used it, and I liked the Games Pass and stuff better. But that was when they were the same price. Like you said, Sony's been about the same price for everything, and they only went online. Like moving to a paid model for online when I was like in 9th or 10th, like 8th or 9th grade, like
yeah, but it's what I'm saying. Like the of the 3 like corporations like that, I'm like, why would
I wonder if it's because I feel like Microsoft should have this same idea, but I think Sony has invested in so many other things. I don't feel like they feel the need to make gaming like their main thing, and I feel like that should be said for Microsoft because
Microsoft's main like income doesn't come from Xbox,
right? So you'd think it wouldn't be the same, but
they're trying to grow as like the cornerstone of Microsoft to be even larger. I guess
they were in such a good spot though, I feel like, and I think they ruined it because even in other countries people have been talking about it because they've done the same in countries like India and stuff as well. And I've seen people in online forums like they increased the price of this like 150% in this country that's already hard enough to afford, they're canceling as well.
And they're not increasing it and being like, oh, we have to increase your download speeds or increase how many games are on there. They're just like, oh, we're going to increase it.
Well, they said we're adding these benefits, and it's like all things nobody cares about and that nobody wants pretty much. It's like, I don't need these additional things in my video games. Like most people are using it for the library. Like
yeah, the benefit was the library. And I saw some people saying that too. Like, if you have to take off some of like the AAA games and actually like just charge people normal prices for those, do that. Yeah. Because a lot of like AAA games they put on there for free on day one. I'm like, just do it with like some of those.
Yeah.
Because if you charged for it instead, you would still make money on the fans of those games.
Does PlayStation still do it where they do like the picks where it's like you get 3 a month or whatever? Because when I used to play a lot... They do,
but it's some of like their older libraries. You're never going to go on there and be like, oh, today's PlayStation pick is this brand new AAA game that comes out tomorrow, right? They always are like, hey, here's this game from a few years ago. You can have it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then they provide a few other things. But whatever. I think the problem is not keeping gaming at the core of the gaming pass, you know, like people want it for a specific reason. People are willing to pay for the higher tier because they play a lot of games and they want to be able to play on their computer and their Xbox and have all these benefits, but the price is no longer beneficial.
No, that's what we're saying. They're like, you're not losing money on it, so it doesn't make any sense. You're like, let's increase it. Like, why?
But
and if you're gonna increase it, maybe increase it to like 16 or 17. But like a 50% increase, you're like, why are we? What are we doing here? Like,
and then like back on the Sims thing, not only in the acquisition part of why I'm not buying anything, but they keep introducing more and more packs without fixing old stuff, which has been a problem. But
it hasn't been there for years though.
But you know, like some of the packs were things we're really excited about, like the Grim Reaper pack is probably one of the best they've put out in years. Like the gameplay is really fun, it works pretty well. But they started putting out packs like every single month. Like before, it would be like there'd be 3 major packs a year released, and then they'd have several little ones because they have different types of ones, like full gameplay packs versus like cosmetics and stuff.
Their issue has always been they make the content and then they very limitedly test it. Like they'll test it in like a base game with that content, and they're like, boom, it works. And then you add it to someone with all of like a certain combination of other packs, but not some packs, and it doesn't work with some.
Yeah, well, and they do that even with their early access playtesters. Like Lil Simsy is one of the big streamers in the Sims community, and she talks about every time they give her an early access game, it's literally just the base game plus that pack. Like they give her a very limited version of the game. Yeah,
and like, oh, it works really well. Well, yeah, you have the base game that works well and the pack that they just made to work with the base game, but they don't test it with the 4 or 5 other packs that you might have,
or
the 10 other packs somebody else might have,
or like 30 because I've been playing the game since it came out.
Right, and like, there's no way for them to test all of that on that like development cycle.
I think they rely on their player base as their testers basically, but the code is so spaghetti at this point that it can't untangle. And then the newer packs they're releasing are like basically regurgitations of the old ones. Like they released this new one that was about like camping and hiking and family and stuff, and it was like, well, this is identical to a pack that they released years ago pretty much. Like it's not adding anything new at this point, it's just regurgitating ideas. And then you can see certain items in the game are reskins of the base game thing, but you were charged $10 for that.
It's a different color.
And the base game is now free, so it's like that value is not there anymore.
No, if you have that many packs and you don't test them all together and like actually take the time to fix it, and there might be a team dedicated to it, you know, but they don't have enough time to be like, okay, cool, pack 35 just came out, let's test all 35 with the base game, and then you get 10% through fixing it, and then they go, all right, hey, pack 36 and 37 drop, add that in too, and we're like, well, great, now I'm back to 0%.
And especially now that they're doing it so like rapidly, there's just nowhere there's enough time to make sure they're all functional. And every time an update comes out, all I see online is people talking about how broken it is. Meanwhile, I haven't updated my mods in like 5-6 months, and my game still works fine every update. So I think I'm just gonna keep doing that until it stabilizes. But I also haven't played in like a few weeks. Like sometimes I get the desire to build something, but I don't know, it's just I feel like the fun is being sucked out of it, and I'm really enjoying Dune. Jordan and I actually watched Dune 2 yesterday.
True. A good setup for Dune 3, just like Dune 1 was a good setup for Dune 2. Dune 1 was much better in my opinion, because it was like a linear story. Dune 2, like they kept giving you like, okay, you have to cross this desert, it's a trial. And then they literally skipped to the next scene where the trial had ended, but you didn't see it, and he was on a different trial all of a sudden.
Yeah, like, I think the editing would have been better. I think if they had framed it like, oh, they had scenes of Paul and those groups, and then the scenes of like the mother and those stories, and then the scenes of like the Harkonnens. And then jumping back into like, oh, he's in the competition, you know?
I'll give you a comparison. part 1 was like some of the original Game of Thrones series, right? Like it took a while, but you could see it all playing out. And then Doom Part 2 was like the last season of Game of Thrones. Like all of a sudden they can traverse like the whole world in an instant, and you're like, whoa, how did we get here?
I think the pacing in like the first half was the biggest problem. I feel like it kind of got better as the movie went on and the story kind of came together.
A little bit, but that's just because you started paying attention to what was like happening. But it's still.
But I think the beginning just really threw me off because they were like, "Oh, we got to do all this training and stuff now," and then the next scene they're like, "Okay, you're learning about wind traps," and then the next scene they're like, "Okay, you are now one of us."
Immediately it was like, "Anyway, you're one of us now," and you're like, "Dude, it took 5 minutes for them to be like, we'll train you,' to be like, you're our brother now," and you're like, "Okay."
While Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet are both amazing actors, I just don't feel that chemistry from them. They're just kind of frustrated all the time.
The ending of it too, like the ending sequences of it too, like that giant battle started and you see it for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, anyway, we defeated all of the Emperor's army and now we have the Emperor hostage. And you're like, that was like 40 seconds. This dude rules the entire fucking galaxy and his army was defeated in 40 seconds on screen.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, now we're going to go fight an interplanetary war. Like, how are you going to fucking do that? Like, you got the Emperor's armies, but you killed most of them, you know? I'll watch it, but I expected a lot more. I feel like
they tried to put so much content into it. It should have been at least 2 movies because it's just under 3 hours, and it needs to be at least like 4 or 5.
If they wanted to, if they didn't want to set up all this stuff, I feel like they could have just cut out a lot of the training from the movie altogether and like had us start kind of in the middle of the action where he's already been accepted by them, and like maybe have flashbacks to parts of his training instead, but like have him already be a member of the Fremen and like doing all this stuff and showing moments of how he got that acceptance. But the way they paced it together did not flow well.
It like skips, like it felt like you were watching the Sparks Notes version of that story.
No, me and Jordan were literally like, oh, okay, we're here now several times during the movie.
Yeah, because like the first trial that they make him do, they're like, you need to cross the desert to that point and make it back. And you're like, okay. And he starts crossing, and then Zendaya shows up. She's like, no, you're doing it wrong. Let me show you. And you're like, okay. And they literally start walking up a hill, and then it cuts to them sitting under a wind trap, and they never explain that if he finished that training. They don't explain how he did. They're just like, anyway, he did it. Okay.
Well, and then he betrays Zendaya, and like, I love Florence Pugh and all, but I'm just like, bro, if I
betrays nothing.
Hell?
Now he can see the future, and you're like, okay, well, what future is he going for?
Unless I haven't read the book, so unless maybe he knows he's gonna die, and that's the way the future has to go. So he's gonna let Florence Pugh be the Empress because maybe he's seen that she's like a great ruler or some shit. So he doesn't want Zendaya to be affected by that, and that's why he keeps saying, "I'll love you until my last breath," because maybe he's gonna die before he can even marry.
The whole movie felt rushed, and yet I'm like 3 hours of just rushing through the story. I'm like.
I feel like if you have 3 hours and you still can't do things with it, like
you need a second movie.
Not even like if you don't want a second movie, like there's so many plot things they could do plot wise to like stitch it together, and like yes, it'll be fast, but it'll still make sense.
Yeah, but if you're restricted on like budget or time or whatever, sure, make it into one movie. But the amount of revenue they're making, they had enough time and effort to be like, hey, we're gonna put it into like 4 parts.
You know, honestly, that probably would have worked really well too.
You know how like Harry Potter's last book is in fucking 2 movies instead of 1? It's
Same
crazy,
thing with
right?
Twilight. Like they've done it with movies that make much less money.
Yeah, I'm like,
and they're now revered. Like people every October are like, oh, it's Twilight season. You know, like I gotta watch my and stuff like that. But this, I really liked it. I'm happy I watched it. But
there could have been a very easy like break in the middle of this movie plot wise, and still made it 2 hours of that plot and then 2 hours of the last half of the movie.
Or maybe they probably could have ended it honestly where he accepts the worm stuff and like is like, yes, now we will fight them, and like in that big room with all the people, you know.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
They probably could have stopped it about there.
The second half of the movie could have been the war itself, because like. It did not feel like it was a challenge at all.
No.
For them to take over the entire planet. You're like,
I know you can see the future, but I feel like you'd still have some struggle, you know?
Yeah, no, it felt like there was no struggle at all for him in this entire. Like the first movie, he struggled, right? The second movie, no. Like just skimmed through the whole thing. Everyone was helping him. Even the people that didn't like him were just like, "We don't like you." Anyway.
Well, and then they set it up to where he was like, "Oh, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to be this messiah or whatever." And then immediately he's just like, "Yeah, I give in." Like, yeah, it opened up your mind or whatever, but does that mean your core personality is gone? Like you're now just a slave to the worm piss?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I'll read the book and see where it goes instead. But I was not as impressed with the second part as I was the first. But I really like the game. The game's really fun.
Yeah, the game's fun because it's like a spin-off. It's not you playing through the movie.
Like I said, I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I was so excited that I got wind traps. And then I have to make filters. But I have so much water now, I don't know what to do with it.
That's better than not having water.
That's true, exactly. Because before I kept running out every time I tried to make something new.
Yes.
But today I have schoolwork and such, so I don't know when I'll be able to play.
Yeah. How's your book going?
I'm at like 40,000 words now. I'm aiming for 60 to 70.
Just lost all the conversational momentum there.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't expect you to turn that way. So, it's
still
good.
your book.
I keep having to rewrite my outline because things happen, and I'm like, oh, I should go this direction instead. But the story's moving along nicely. I'm almost towards like the climax and denouement, so that'll be fun. Don't waggle your eyebrows at me, sir.
What was that? Me.
But it's going well. I think I'll be able to finish it here in a week or two. I didn't want to tell you that, and then it just kind of slipped out. But so I hate it when you are like, "Did you do this?" And I'm like, "No."
You hate it when I remind you of your own goals.
But I do think I could have it done in a few weeks.
Do you hear that? I'm a terrible husband. That's what she said.
Always holding me accountable and shit. What? This is kind of like a topic change.
It's green.
What?
Sometimes blue.
What do you think the signs of a good partner are? Like, if you were to tell somebody, like, this is what you should look for, like, and know that this person's good for you, or like your partner, like, this is what you should look for. What would it be?
Like the bare minimum?
No, like the personality traits or the things that they do. Like, it doesn't have to be serious stuff. Like, I was just thinking the other day, like, I feel like you should, maybe even if you don't believe in marriage, you should spend your life with somebody who makes you laugh. Because you're going to get old and wrinkly, but your sense of humor should always be there. And, like, at the end of your life, the person who's going to make you smile and, like, feel happy inside is the person I think you should be with. And because I was thinking about, like, you always make me laugh, and that's something I really like about you.
I am funny looking.
You're my funny looking guy.
Wow. Just assume my pronouns.
Stop pointing at me.
I'm not touching you.
Anyway, that's going to do it for us on this episode of Mindless Prattle. If you like what you heard, please, 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 please follow us and watch all of our videos. It's not like we're desperate for views or anything, but, like, you could follow us. That'd be pretty cool. Stop pointing at me. He's the fucking worst. That guy over there is Jordan. This guy over here is Ripley. And we will see you next time. Goodbye. Stop it.
What? Someone's got to point out them collarbones. Look at them shoulders.